PALLAS was a multinational phase 3 trial that was really based on observations in the metastatic setting, demonstrating improvements in both progression-free survival and overall survival with the addition of CDK4/6 inhibitors to endocrine therapy in metastatic ER-positive, HER2-negative breast cancer. And so the logical next step was to take this into the early stage setting and to look to see whether the addition of palbociclib, one of the 3 commercially available CDK4/6 inhibitors, would have value in preventing recurrences and improving survival in patients with early stage ER-positive, HER2-negative breast cancer. And PALLAS enrolled both node-negative as well as node-positive patients, although there was a cap on the number of node-negative patients enrolled. And like all phase 3 trials, was monitored carefully by a independent data safety monitoring board. And we learned during ASCO, not as a presentation formally, but as a press release, that unfortunately the conclusion at the interim analysis was that it was not going to meet its primary endpoint and was therefore going to be closed in terms of the accrual's already done, but that there would be a declaration of reaching a futility endpoint. And that was hugely disappointing because I think all of us, really were quite optimistic that CDK4/6 inhibitors would have some benefit in early breast cancer. I think that there's still some caveats. The median follow-up at the time the futility analysis was completed is still quite short for an ER-positive, HER2-negative study population. PALLAS tended to enroll, relatively higher risk patients. Most patients received chemotherapy. And so, whether or not in patients receiving endocrine therapy alone, CDK4/6 inhibitors could have value, I think is not answered, at least based on what we've heard so far publicly from PALLAS. And there are other ongoing clinical trials of other CDK4/6 inhibitors in the adjuvant setting, each with, slight variations in the study population enrolled. And I think we'll, wait to see how those report out. And again, for all of these studies, I think longer follow-up is really important because the timeline for recurrences in these patients can be quite long.